the best settings and a few tips for the new Genji because they recently buffed him. If you're watching this now, um, basically earlier you couldn't do triple headshot, or like you could, but it was really hard because it did less damage. But now you can basically just do triple headshot in the melee or triple headshot dash. And his combos are a lot more easy to execute now. Like I saw a video recently where it said dash, hit 2 headshots, and then a melee attack. But, you know, that one right there, I didn't really find that practical, especially for PlayStation. Because just dashing, when you dash, it's a lot more inaccurate, and you're usually going to end up dashing through them instead of at the ground, like where you want to. And if you do dash to the ground, you're probably going to miss them just because, you know, enemies do move in a real game. It's not against bots. So I went ahead and found I'm going to give you the best combos right now. But first of all, I want to give you guys the settings, which is the most important thing. Now, I've been testing a lot around, and this is the main thing I've noticed. For most of my heroes, you'll see here, I don't actually use these. Most of my characters have like specific, the ones that I actually play. But for most of them, I use dual zone right here. Now, that it's very good, but in the way that they buffed Genji, they made him a lot better at close-up matches. Because now, uh, you know, he does more damage close-up. So, you know, you want to have something that does something better close-up, and the one for that is called, I'm pretty sure it's linear ramp. Now, you may be confused about what that is. Basically, linear ramp, pretend that you have a graph on your screen. Okay, just close your eyes and imagine you have a graph, and you just make a straight line basically from the bottom left to the top right. That's what linear ramp is here. So basically, and that's how this works. The top of the ramp is when you completely move your joystick to the very max in a certain direction. It moves quickly that direction. But then the thing about dual zone and why people like it is when you make small movements with your mouse, it won't go everywhere. But with linear ramp, it will. But there are ways to fix this. Like people don't try messing with the advanced settings, and this is where that comes into handy. Now, linear ramp makes it so that you can maneuver very quickly. You can do ghost dashes. You can look up and down very quickly. And you'll see my settings here for Genji. They're not like like you'll see the vertical, it's very low compared to what people like put it at like 60, 100. But that's because they're using dual zone. They already have like that very slow area, so they don't have to move their joystick so much, and they can look up and down. But with linear, it's more troublesome. So but you want to start like keeping it low. Like I right now have it at this pretty much, and honestly, when I'm getting better and better at it, obviously I'll move it up. Okay, and the aim assist strength. This is basically so pretend that you're moving towards an enemy target. Okay, this is how much it slows down. Now, I don't like it when it moves up all the way. And these two right here, they matter a lot. You just need to find out what's personally best for you. I wouldn't keep window size anything below 50, because then it just throws your aim off too much. Because then your window size is pretty much on the target itself, and you know you want to start slowing down a little bit before, so you can hit flicks a little bit easier on other characters too. So it's not just for Genji. But yeah, aim assist strength, I keep it at 92. I think it's fine. You know, anything, whatever you like. I just don't think you should keep it super low unless you think you're super good at console. For this is like what I use, and as you saw there, it still moves pretty fast. Okay, then legacy mode off. This is like how the old type of aim assist, like in the beginning of the game. They honestly improved it. If you really enjoyed what they like earlier, you can use that, but I wouldn't use that. Now this is the main thing with linear ramp. The thing that slows it down in those short movements is aim ease in. Now, what I've noticed, aim ease in is basically a dead zone. It's not a complete dead zone on your joystick, but basically it allows for shorter movements. Like remember the line that we made with the graph, okay guys? The imaginary line starts from bottom left to top right. Now imagine the bottom of the line making a small slope. The higher you make this, the longer the slope is in the curve, okay? But I don't think this one matters too much. I just keep it at like this, like 6. Anything from like 0 to 15 whatever you like. Or if you really need more, you can do that too. This and then aim smoothing, personal preference, to be honest. If you really want it to be super smooth, make sure you know exactly where you're looking. You're not comfortable with like quick like, frames and everything, like going left and right. You want to make sure you know exactly where you're going, where you're shooting, and you don't have like you're not thinking ahead so far. You can keep some. Let me show you what this does, okay, for those who've never moved it or don't understand. So right now, I'm gonna keep it like high, okay? This is how I'm moving right now, okay? I'm moving my joystick to the max. This setting right here, it's usually meant for dual zone. That's where it really comes in handy, but it should affect all of them, I'm pretty sure. So now I'm gonna bring it back to 0 to give you guys an understanding of what it looks like when you have it at 0. So like, see, I'm moving my joystick a little bit, and then max, a little bit, max. If I didn't have the aim ease in assist that I'm going to show you guys in a second, and I don't know if you guys can notice, when I go right over the bots there, it does slow down, and that's the aim assist and the aim ease in kicking in. Okay, now I'm going to show you exactly what those do and what I have it on, if you guys didn't get a good glimpse at it earlier. Okay, so I have it on 49. You can honestly make this as high as you want. It won't hurt you. Keeping it on the very bottom though, that's very it's like, I'm sure it's viable for some people that are just mechanical gods on console. I'm decent. I'm very much above average to most people on console, like mechanically, but I would still keep it. They gave us this option, and it does help a lot. So I keep it like around 50. I think it's comfortable there, because if it slows down too much, then you can't do ghost dashes sometimes because there are other enemies nearby. But these are settings I have. Um, I know there's a split between people wanting and not wanting vibration. All I'm gonna say, after a few days of not having vibration, guys, like maybe just like a few games, you will understand how much better your aim gets on almost every single character. Okay, I play Zarya a lot too whenever I'm playing tank. When I get filled into tank, I always play off tank Zarya. I'm telling you, not having the vibration with the laser and the bomb, it makes your aim so much better. Same thing with almost any character. With Genji supplies, with Widowmaker supplies, it really does help. So keep your vibrations off if you want to try it out. I'm telling you it's better. All the pros do it too. So don't just take my word for it. It's a lot better. Now let's move on to the other stuff here. Reticle. It's honestly what you prefer. Just letting you guys know, I know my reticle is like blue and everything, but when I'm on my monitor, I have like I have like a setting, and like it automatically displays like a crosshair on my like monitor screen itself. So I don't really use the reticle that they have here, but basically it's just a green crosshair. But it's really up to you. I would never use circle on any of my characters, or circle and crosshair. Just use crosshair or dot, whichever one you want better. It's up to you. Um, the colors, keep it bright colors. Don't make it red. I know this, like, a lot of people like red means enemy. You want to keep it like that, but it really it really just messes you up, and red's not a color that your eyes usually like seeing. They get too distracted by it. Keep it light blue, green. I know earlier I used to have this dark green, and that's what my crosshair on my monitor color is. So it's whatever you prefer. But those are three colors I suggest. These two, and then the very bottom green right here. These, if you're colorblind, these bottom ones are the ones for you to look at most of the time, and these are just like the normal vibrant colors that you see. Um, so yeah, okay. This, guys, if you don't have it on always, I don't know what you're doing. Always do that. Oh, automatic wall climbs. Okay, this is depending. Sometimes I turn it off, sometimes I turn it on. It just depends on how I'm doing that day. If I feel like holding down my jump button, I'll do that. And let me tell, I will get to that in the settings, okay? Because I know a lot of people. No, I don't want to reset. Okay, I know a lot of people have questions because I've seen so many videos where they do like all these confusing like button switches that you're not used to, and it takes forever to get used to. Okay, like I saw one where your jump was L1, your dash was L2. And I'm just telling you, like, it had a lot of good comments. People really liked it, but, from my experience, I tried it. I could not get used to it because, not everybody can just adjust to something like that. We're just used to something else. And I play a lot of Call of Duty and stuff, and when I played like Black Ops 3, I got really good at stick and move. So naturally, I kept my jump button in R3, and now I can jump and aim everything at the same time. Double jump while shooting, all that at the same time. My crouch button circle, um, and some people don't like that. They like it somewhere else, but I think circle's fine. You're not going to be crouching that much, and if you are crouching, it's to dodge a widow shot. You're not always going to be trying to shoot back at her, but that's there as an option. Your dash is going to be L1. You know what? I keep it pretty basic. L1, your deflect is R1. Ultimate's triangle. Interact, I kept it left arrow, or right arrow, and you'll see why. Because my quick melee is L3. This is the reason I have the jump and the quick melee in these places is because they help me execute the combo a lot faster, which is basically throw shurikens and dash, and if you don't kill them with that, you just do a quick melee, or you do like a spread fire and a quick melee animation cancel. I'll show you, if you guys don't know what an animation cancel is, I'll show you quickly a demonstration and I'll explain what exactly it's doing and why it works. But it's all about timing. So quick melee is L3. Now, I saw this funny thing and I might need to add it. Oh, it's right there. Need healing? Buffs. Put that on X. Be a real Genji main. Whenever you need healing, spam X. You already know the healers can't hit you half the time and heal you, but it's just fun to mess around with them. Just do that. Um, so yeah. Okay. Now animation cancels. Basically, I'm gonna throw out my shurikens, L2, okay? And right when I do that, right after, I'm gonna click my L3 melee. So instead of doing 3 in the melee, like what you think like a normal speed, you just basically do this, and it basically just hits them instantly, and it's effective. It's really useful because you can't expect the enemy to stay in the same spot for a long time. So if you are going to engage and you're in this range, just you gotta finish them when they're there. You can't do this, let them move around, and then do your melee after. It's not a good idea. Also, I'm going to teach you a mechanic that's been around for Genji for a long time. I think Shadowburn or one of those PC gods made it, okay? And I've never seen people on console use it. And on this kind I'm a lower elo, like I'm in gold plat. But in general, this should be something that everybody can use, because I've played on PC and I see people I see bronze Genjis doing this, and people on console aren't able to do it because their sensitivity and their smoothing is so high that they can't move so fast. It's called a ghost dash. So basically, it's where you kill an enemy with your dash, and you get your dash reset. You turn, and then you dash back to your team. Okay, let me just get it back real quick. Oh yeah, also now you can triple headshot a tracer. Not very likely to happen, but it's possible. I didn't kill him. Okay. So I'm just gonna make sure I get the triple headshot. Now watch. Okay, that wasn't perfect, but I hope you guys get the idea and what the use is for. Basically, dash in, you dash out to your team, and if you have your sensitivity high enough, you can make it look instant. Right now, I obviously don't have it where I should for doing like a perfect ghost dash, but you can do pretty well. And especially because console, I mean, they're not going to be able to react to you that fast, usually. So, you'll still get away with being a little bit slower, like dash, just like that. So, try that out. And the way that you're going to play Genji usually, guys, let's say you're attacking a point, okay? Your team's walking up to choke point, you wall climb over, get on a little bit of high ground, and then you just want to shoot the enemy, pretend my bot here is actually the enemy, and that's the spawn room. You walk on the high ground, you walk around, they're actually looking that way, you just want to shoot a little bit of them, and then you want to dash through them, And, like when they're low, if you can get a pick, your team focuses them, you get a pick, and you ghost dash back into your team, and you get healed. And if you guys noticed, like I'm moving pretty fast. One of my shurikens always ends up hitting, and that's because the aiming's in. It's very like it feels like auto aim in a way. So I would definitely give that a try. Try linear ramp. It's honestly so useful. Try it in practice mode. It's gonna feel weird for the first few seconds, but I'm just telling you guys. You guys gotta mess around with the settings, and if you don't like it, it's personal preference at the end of the day. These settings are not meant to make you play like me or play like anybody else. You're still gonna play like who you are, and these settings are just a guideline on how you can maximize Genji, because linear ramp is for close engagements. All the people I know that are very good at Tracer and Genji in general, they all have linear ramp on, and it's something that they don't tell people, because all the settings they make it for like most people, and most people use dual ramp and they don't know the differences, and when they switch over it feels too fast because they don't know how to mess around with the advanced settings. But as you can see, it's not really that fast. It's not that much of a difference. It's very similar to having like 80 plus setting, 80 plus vertical, 80 plus horizontal on a normal dual zone, but it has way more benefits. Like tracking honestly becomes easier because the aim is in, and then you can just long range shoot. You'll hit shots somehow. Like you think I'm aiming for this, but I'm not. Like it's just like that. It's crazy. Like you think I'm aiming? No, I'm just spraying and praying, and it hits people. So it's a very broken thing that they have in the game right now, and I think they're gonna keep it because it's really, this setting was made for people that use linear ramp, and because a lot of majority of people don't do it, they don't really see what happens when they do. And I'm telling you, aim is crazy. Like here, I'll keep it in his head, strafe left and right, pretty hard. It's still a hit. Like I'll move. Like I'll like it's. I think you guys get the point here. It's a lot easier to aim with shurikens, and you know, like everybody's like, only reason people play Genji is the Dragon Blade, Nano Blade, and no matter how good those things are, you can't be a good Genji if you can't play the other 90% of his kit, which is mastering his dashes, deflecting correctly. And I've noticed a common thing. Most people have the pixel spray on Genji. Here, let me see if I can pull it out. Okay, and this is for deflecting and killing 2 enemies, okay? And I've noticed recently that people just use the Genji deflect, and like they just stand in front of their team, they just deflect some damage and they, like hit the enemy shield. And that I'm just gonna let you guys know right now, that's a waste. There's no reason to do that. That's not really that beneficial. There's way better things you can do with your deflect. If you're playing Genji correctly, you want to try staying behind the enemies, and if you're not used to staying behind the enemies on Genji, because most characters, you know, just don't. There's not that many like flankers that are easy or like, you know, simple to play. They're all difficult, mainly because the playstyle and the mechanics. You just have to just walk behind the enemy and experiment. There's no way you can get better without limit testing, and you just gotta do that. And so make sure you try out all the settings, see what works best for you. I would never try exponential ramp on melee characters like Genji. It's just not that viable. Let's say you already have like max 100 settings on Widowmaker, then you can try exponential ramp, but it's not really beneficial for most characters, and I wouldn't give that one a try. But linear and dual zone, it's pretty like straightforward. It's gonna work. It's gonna work the same. It's gonna work pretty basic. It's basically like small movements are very easy and to control, and then when you move your joystick to the max, it moves fast. But you know, you just gotta mess around, see whatever you like. Really understand what each setting does, guys, because like you don't understand how much better your aim could be. And before these settings, and a lot of the settings I've tried before in Genji, like, I couldn't hit shots like this regularly. So So, because like, you know, Genji's projectiles are pretty slow. Like in real games too. I swear, I don't know how I'm hitting them so consistently, but they're hitting. So give it a try, test it out. I hope you enjoy it. For if you're playing Genji and you have an on your team and you want to get Nano Blade, always dash up and dash into your team. So yeah, so that you can nano you in the air. Guys, I don't know how many times I've seen the enemy Genji or my Genji sometimes, and he just pulls out blade, asks for nano, and then he's like, you know, behind a car or like standing in front of a Ryan so that like the Ryan gets nano. And Ryan's a good nano. Like, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying the point was not to nano him. So make sure you make it easy for healers to heal you, or get a really good healer on your team to pocket you and understand where you're moving, especially on voice comms. It's a lot easier then, because I'm just letting you know, healers hate Genji just because you can't heal them, and they're always spamming
I need healing
with, yeah, so, you know, always be a little bit easier. Also, know where all the health packs on the maps are, because sometimes you're gonna get an Ana that can't aim to save her life because she doesn't know how to fix her aim sensitivity when zoomed in on her settings. So she just can't aim. She doesn't know how to do aim assist on allied targets. So, you know, make sure you know the map, know where you can wall climb efficiently to get on higher grounds. You know, sometimes people just wall climb for the sake of wall climbing. It's not gonna get you anywhere unless you're waiting for your dash cooldown. It's like 1 second away. It's a useless tactic. It's better if you just crouch spam, juke left and right, and then wall climb whenever needed. Or you just walk to a place where you know you can wall climb. Like here, you can wall climb. Obviously, you're not going to be playing on this map, but just knowing how much, what your character's abilities and his capabilities are. And so yeah, make sure you know your character, understand. Like this for any characters, okay guys? I know this video is being too long, and you know, at the point of the video is already done, but just understand how to play your character correctly and what their job is. I just have so many bad teammates that don't know what their job is. I see a Moira trying to just get gold elims, and it's so easy for Moira, right? To get gold elims, just tap them and stuff, but your job is to be a healer. Like, she has like bronze healing, or Roadhog has more healing than her. You know the job of your healer. Like, Moira's such a powerful healer, use her to heal. Zenyatta, he's meant to put his discords on a flanker if possible on your team. I mean, his healing orb on a flanker on your team, so they can go in and know that they're not gonna get insta popped or get the healing when they're flanking. Meant to put their discords on the tanks when they're open, so you can shut the tanks. When let's say your Tracer Genji's flanking, put the discord on their healers. You know, you gotta understand how to play your character correctly, not wasting ultimates. Oh my god, I've seen Zenyatta. Our team was like low health, you know, just like maybe like 2 people were low health on our team. Instead of like telling our Mercy or anything, hey Mercy, can you heal these 2 guys? They're low health, or putting a healing orb on them. This pops ult just to heal them. And then right after that, you know, the enemy Zarya pops ultimate, Genji starts blading, and their whole team dies because he wasted his trance. So, really understand how to play your character. I know it's not necessary, I'm not forcing you to. Watch a guide. Watch a simple guide. I'm starting to get back to YouTube on this account. I'm gonna put guides on how to play all characters, their role, and how to be effective on them in the correct way. So keep a lookout for that. This is Genji. He's my most played character. So, you know, obviously I want to make his first, right? But
my blade is ready to be
I'll be doing it for more people. Alright. Alright guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.